Everything's
How much
coming.
are you guys gonna smoke?
Yeah. Oh, a lot, bro. This is the whole podcast. We've actually got started. Yeah. We're just getting started.
That's probably your fourth big honker.
We've got problems.
Yeah.
You see the size of these things? What are we doing here?
Yeah, you're literally gripping the couch. This is so funny. Do you guys never get stoned like this that often anymore?
We just smoke. We have shit to do. So.
So yeah, all right, perfect. Hey, welcome, guys. Yeah, we usually do the intros at the end because then we'll be really nice and stoned. It's just funnier that way, right? Holy shit, I'm very excited for you guys to be here. I know you guys had a busy day. What'd you guys do today? You guys went all around town?
We ripped around Long Beach with the High Rise crew. We talked shop with them. Kind of really wanted to feature those guys because they're always doing so much cool shit for other people. They're always giving back. I think we're very like-minded in how we approach not only the cannabis industry and cannabis in general, but life. So
yeah,
we brought our film team around and we bought a really shitty van a year ago, and it's been sitting down in San Diego, and it was time to take it back up north. So we jumped in a 74. Dodge Tradesman, which we thought in Beverly Hills we were going to get the cops called on us rolling up here.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Fucking helicopter flies in.
Yeah.
When I was rocking my shitty old Prius, they would give me the weirdest looks here.
You got to see this van, dude. It's so good.
The van you guys used to have was always cool because I remember you guys would pull it up at the store all the time, and that was like...
Yeah, that's a straight up art piece.
Yeah, that is the...
We wanted to give Big Mike, which is the name of our other van, by way of Jeremy Fish, the artist out of San Francisco. So we bought it off of him.
Oh, yeah. So he painted it, I'd imagine, then.
He actually picked it up from a guy in the Midwest, I believe it was, somewhere the Midwest, and the guy's name was Big Mike. And so Jeremy's just that guy. Everything he does has purpose and reason. So he had the back tire whole thing made with a custom airbrush Big Mike. So it became Big Mike. He kind of made it famous through a lot of his art interviews and magazine stuff. And I mean, it's like an art piece. And so this guy who was out in the Midwest, his wife made him sell it. Jeremy found it online.
No.
Yeah, found it online. Sent his dad out to look at it, and his dad was like, "If you don't buy this thing, I'm gonna." And the inside is, you've been in the inside before.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's like a ship.
Yeah.
It looks like a ship on the inside with the bed and the whole deal. So we kind of want to do the same thing with our flower brand, which is called Farmer and The Felon.
Yeah.
So, but we want to black it out, and make it be a little more metal. So we'll have the Jeremy Fish van, and then we'll have the Farmer and The Felon van.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Just a place to kick it with people.
Yeah.
And just kind of represent ourselves.
Yeah.
Just where this brand comes from. We can have a view as being big corporate cannabis, but you really get to know the people that are really behind it.
Yeah.
Those old vans kind of.
I think
that's represent.
I think that's the important part too. Is that you said it yourself. It's people do see you guys as a big corporate brand, but we were talking before the podcast. When you guys would come to the store and the relationship you guys built with all the comics there was very There's not a lot of companies can do that. That has to happen organically. I've worked there for a while and seen a lot of companies try to hey, and then it's no, But you guys, it was you guys would work on the Comedy Chaos, and it was a pleasure to go to the back room and be in the green room, hanging out with you guys, being taken care of.
Yeah, we're true fans of comedy.
On the clock, hella high.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's being true fans of comedy and being able to go in there and hang out with just all the cool people that were around there, and then some of the biggest comedians in the world, just being backstage, just being human and just having that engagement with them. It was a special thing for us, and we just respected it so much.
It was definitely trippy though, because I've been
very
following,
surreal.
Listening to these podcasts, I know these voices so well in my ear. next thing you know, we're in this conversation with multiple of them at the same time. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? You know?
Yeah,
everybody's so genuine and dope.
Chill,
and,
man.
yeah.
Appreciative too. Like, I remember when I watched you guys give Diaz those 100 milligram capsules, and it was like a fucking birthday for him. He was just so excited.
Yeah, Joe, all those guys, like, they kind of found which thing they like from us, you know, because we have all the different brands and we make everything ourselves, and we kind of had the CBD or the topicals or, you know, whatever it was, people kind of found what it was that they liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was also the cool thing, too, is like I would watch a lot of comics come up and be like, well, I'm not really into weed. And then you're like, well, we have these topicals. And you're just like, oh, dope. And then the other comics would be like, I love getting fucked up. And you're like, well, we have exactly what you need.
Take a dab with this.
Yeah. That was
and stoking out the staff, you know, the up and coming comedians too, you know, like the appreciation was amazing.
That was like our favorite part.
Well,
really.
let me tell you how important that is as a comic that's young working at the store. You know, when you're young and you get paid at the store, you're not making a lot of money, and most of your money is going towards weed because, you know what I mean? You're not going to pay your bills. Yeah. So the fact that you guys would just even help us out and lace us up and hook us up like that, that really fed a lot of comics.
Yeah. That's what we wanted. Like, those are the guys that appreciate it so much. We made great relationships with so many different people on so many different levels. We were so fucking sad when it happened.
I honestly feel honored to be a part of that, you know, for the small amount of time it was, you know, a couple of years, like, was honored to just be in that room, you know, in that green room and talking to those people in that era.
You guys really were a part of golden age of comedy. You know, it was really in the swing of things when everything was back, you know, and it really broke my heart when you said that, you know, when you were like, you know, when it was like the heyday, and I was like, oh, I don't even think of it like that, but that's what it was. Like, I still think everything's going to go back to normal tomorrow, you know what I mean? But it's also like, oh, no, it's going to be a while till it's almost like that again.
Well, and it will. That's like the natural course, right?
Yeah.
It's going to come back to that. It's going to make room for the next people. You know, some people left the area. I think it
seems like it might be opportunity, though, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of the people that are coming up and gaining steam. I'm sure it's amazing being on those lineups, you know, but creating a whole new crop of amazing talent in there, it almost seems like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it really, I mean, that is what's going to happen, because it feels, I mean, you know, I was going up at 1 o'clock at night and all that jazz. That was, you know, my spots. So to know and watch about an hour and a half of comics move to Texas, you know, not that, like, if the store opens up, they'll definitely come back, but they won't be there like they were when it was like every night. It just means that a lot more times open up for, you know, guys like me, you know, your Fahim Anwars, all your younger comics, and it's only going to make us, I guess, better, you know?
Yeah, it's such a hang in there, too.
Dude, it is
like,
a hang.
That was another thing, you know, it was an honor, because you could tell that it was your guys' clubhouse, you know, it was this kind of almost secret society going on back there, and being embraced with that.
How cool was going to the back of Sacred Ground?
Yeah.
The whole experience there, like, I can't say enough about it, really. Like,
I would get goosebumps almost
you.
every time walking down that hallway to that green room.
Yeah.
Straight up goosebumps, you know?
Who was someone that you saw, like, what were some of your, like, favorite, most memorable moments there where you were like, oh, fuck?
I mean, everything Joey Diaz related. I mean, you know, that guy would just light a room on fire, you know, and then go back there and just, like, talk with him. It was really incredible.
If like Tuesday or Wednesday, Frank would hit me up and just be like, "Oh, we're going to the store." I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah!" And just roll, come with a jar full of joints, and then just hang out until like fucking 2 a.m.
Yeah, man.
And it just never felt like it was 2 a.m.
It like, never felt like it was 2 a.m. That's one of the easiest places you could go when you're hanging out, and it's like 7 o'clock, and then you look at your watch, and it's 3 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, I remember, you know, you guys have been there when Chappelle's bopped in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So upstairs a few times at the roast battle, too. Just kind of just heckling everybody from like the little judges area. And just so good.
It's insane to see how people like scurry when he comes in. Him or even like Rogan sometimes, like everyone just like lines their P's and Q's and like
Yeah.
attention. It's
Yeah.
kind of
That's
crazy,
for
man.
sure.
It was interesting.
It's cool to watch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we used to get to take like our accounts there with us. That was like the most value to us was
Yeah.
just being able to bring accounts there and like actually vibe with them and hang out with them. Everybody gets to laugh together. It's not like a business meeting. It's like
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also, I think, when you take clients or like business people to that, and you know, you really get a good sense of them. You know, where they're like, you know, all right, can you hang? Is this fun jokes? You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
yeah.
if you can hang at the store and you know stay till 1 o'clock in the morning and watch Don Bears, it's like, all right, we're gonna do business together.
Yeah, totally.
It got to a point where like we were like bringing a couple people back into the green room, and then all of a sudden people are just following people and freaking
Yeah.
Sam's
Things got a bit
freaking
out of
out. We're
control
like,
there for a minute. we all know
You know
Tripoli
Sam,
too.
dude.
He was just like, guys.
Oh yeah, and then door guy's got to get the call to clear the room. Yeah, I get it. It's always fun.
It was always fun.
Yeah, and it, you know, Tripoli, he's such a,
Tripoli's amazing.
you know, he's such a beautiful human, just in so many ways, and just spending time with him and it being his show, it's just like, I'd look at that dude, I'd be like, what is going on here?
Yeah. He's a blast, man. Yeah. He helped me a lot too when I was working at the store, just being like a young guy. And yeah, man, at the store, especially with all those older comics, you really get a sense of camaraderie. You know, they really do help you. You know, like Sam hooked me up with a lot of my first gigs. He hooked me up with a lot of good writing jobs at the gate. Like he put me on his podcast when I was first moving there, Punch Drunk Sports. So it's just, yeah, man, that guy is.
Seems like
He's a great dude. He's wild, but he's a great dude.
he does that for a lot. You know, that's his thing. He's like really trying to put people on. You know?
He's so great as a host too.
Yeah, he's absolutely fun as a host.
Yeah, just goes for it too on just every level.
I would love watching him late night. His late night sets are always fun. Especially like as a young comic watching him work that late night stuff. It's like, oh, okay. You really gotta get the feel and stuff what they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, such a great dude.
I used to have whenever we'd like accept deliveries, we'd have drivers like talk about like, oh yeah, I want to do the long haul this week, so I want to bring the shit to the store, and like just be stoked to do that, and like almost not fighting over it, but be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it this week, and like talk about how they got it over the other guy and shit like that. So that was always like cool to hear, like coming from the Bay, and that's kind of not the reason I didn't move down here like for comedy, but I was like, if I move to LA, it's like I'll be at the store often, I'll get to go and like watch comedy often. So to hear that from them and have other people stoked about it was always fun to talk about, like when they're delivering shit.
It like nothing else. Man. Every once in a while, something would happen and it would get canceled. We'd be like, fuck. It was every other Tuesday, like clockwork. You know,
Yeah.
we would look forward to that Tuesday.
Yeah, man, that was a great.
And he'd come down from Northern California. You know,
Are you originally from Northern California?
Yeah.
Oh,
I live up in Redwood Valley.
Oh, no way.
Ukiah, Mendocino County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
we both are. Yeah, I'm from
Oh, okay.
McNabb Ranch up there in Mendocino.
Bay Area,
Yeah, me too.
Peninsula.
Bay Area, San Jose.
Yeah.
San Mateo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a special thing about NorCal, right?
It really
Like,
is, right? It's a different kind of place. I feel it's also just a different kind of understanding, I feel like. It's weird,
out.
man. Every time I think that's why we connected so well, too, when we started this, too. I was like, oh, you're from the Bay? He was like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm also from the Bay. This is great.
Yeah, it's really interesting. 'Cause I moved down to San Diego in like '96, so I was down there. I was like kind of half and half, and just seeing the differences between Northern California and Southern California, and it was interesting being back and forth through that.
Absolutely. I love it down here,
Yeah.
honestly. I'd argue that I like it more than I did the Bay, which is kind of crazy.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. There's at least before COVID, there was definitely like.
Oh, you had the Comedy Store.
Yeah, that and just exactly. But there's always just like, no matter what you do, there's a vibrance to everything. Like everyone's got shit going on. And I really dug that, where I feel like sometimes in the Bay you get stuck and drug out a little bit and you're like, fuck, do this again.
We're Mendocino County, where we're from. It's a really special place.
Yeah.
It's very small town, tight knit. A lot of us have known each other since we were children.
Bro.
We have a great friend group with
Yeah.
a lot of children and grown children, so it's special up there for us. But I love coming down
Oh,
here.
yeah.
We would get a
Yeah.
room at the Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And treat ourselves.
Of course,
we're
it's
going
a treat, man.
An
Hell yeah.
experience, and we'd have fun.
Yeah.
We got to meet everybody. We just
met
like
all
chose
these,
one
met
spot.
all these
and went
amazing
for it.
people, get creative people down here. Like people are just like really going for chasing a really crazy dream. It's
It's a fantastic thing. Yeah. But you guys are doing amazing things in the weed industry too. I mean, these Hifi Hops. That was the cool thing too, is going to the store and like, I remember the first time I had one of these, I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was alcohol, and then I was like, oh wait, it's not. And then I was just like, oh, this is kind of nice, because I like drinking beer, but it's also like I don't like getting fucked up, and I can easily get fucked up.
And they're heavy, yeah.
Where like these, it's kind of just nice. I also love soda. So.
They're tasty though.
Yeah, they're tasty too.
Yeah.
That must have been a trip, like linking up with Lagunitas, especially for them always being so like cannabis forward, like kind of hiding. I mean, as much as they have to hide it, but like always being so for
long
weed.
relationship with them.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know my family lives up in Nevada, so whenever I go visit, we're up at Petaluma.
Yeah.
Every time.
And it's it's just sparkling water and like no sugar, no calories, no nothing. It's like
Yeah, that's what trips
sparkling
people out.
water.
They're
It
like,
trips
wait,
people
there's
out.
like,
What?
wait, what?
Is it
Like,
good
it
for
tastes
me?
like beer, and I'm getting a little buzz, but it's just soda
Distracting
water.
terps. Actually, when I went up there my first time, I forgot the guy's name. First time, like to do a tour of Lagunitas, just like a drinking, like they do the tour for everyone who goes in. Someone there was wearing an ABX hat, like just in the tour group, and I was like, oh, it's like a dope hat, like we carry their shit. And he's like, oh yeah, I helped make the Hifi Hops. I was like, oh fuck, that's cool shit. And I totally forgot the dude's name.
Maybe Jeremy Marshall. Yeah. He was
hanging out having a beer. Yeah, it was tight.
He was the dude.
man.
Jeremy Marshall. He's the best.
How long did
He's a wild man.
How long did it take to come up with this idea? Like, was this always in the works?
It was a long
just-
I think he just he had it in his head, dude. And he wanted to hook up with us, and it was kind of stemmed from that.
No, I dig that it's not like de-alkalized beer. I like it that it's like infused with terpenes from the hops.
From
You know
the
what I mean?
hops.
So it just tastes fucking good.
Well, because also like marijuana and hops are cousins,
Right.
the plant itself. So it just goes hand in hand. Yeah, your guys' stuff is You guys have such a good solid brand that I feel like covers a lot of stuff. What are some projects you guys are proud of that you're going to be coming up with? Because I know I've been a fan since the Loud and Clears. I remember I would rip those at the store and just get fucking ripped. I was like, man, this is 2 hours gone already. Okay.
I'm gonna say Farmer and The Felon.
Yeah, Farmer and The Felon,
right?
for
Yeah,
sure.
it's
So
our
flower
flower
beer.
line. Like
Finally.
that's something we're really bringing it with, and being able to tell the story and tell the stories of all these people that went through, arrests and families being broken up because of cannabis. That now there's a whole industry behind.
Yeah.
So
That was kind of always the biggest problem I think me and him would always talk about was that, that exactly. Is there's a lot of people that are getting into this game and they didn't have to worry about any of the other trouble that so many other people had to go through and are still going through now.
Yep. And we were fighting the fight too.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and everybody knows that. They're just like, okay, shit. We got to get behind these guys because they're definitely, fighting it. So.
Do you think with the way everything's
How much
coming?
weed are you guys gonna smoke?
Oh, a lot, bro. This is the whole podcast. We've actually got started. Yeah. We're just getting started.
That's probably your fourth big honker. over
We've
the
got
last-
problems.
Yeah.
The size of these things.
Stoner.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, you're literally gripping the couch. It's so funny. Do you guys never get stoned like this that often anymore?
We just smoke. We have shit to do. So.
Honestly, I
no,
don't
but I
time
run
I
a company.
really smoke is before training jiu-jitsu.
Oh no way! How long you been training jiu-jitsu?
Like 10 years.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
God.
But it's just, I'm consuming THC all day,
Yeah.
whether it's in droppers or gel tabs or whatever. But really smoke and just get to that level is before I train.
Now that you said that you do jiu-jitsu, that makes so much sense because I was like, I'm staring at you. I'm like, how are you just such good shape? You have a full head of hair. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, jiu-jitsu. That's why. Yeah. Okay, that's
all
crazy.
these products and jiu-jitsu. Hey, I've fucking been on a serious regimen though.
Oh,
It's
really?
like I have access to this amazing medicine.
Yeah.
So I'm just going
Droppers
hard.
and 18
Yeah.
What's your regimen?
Care by design for the most
Yeah.
part. To kind of start with a higher, work my way down.
I'm saying, is this
toward
cream gonna give me hair? Because I'll fucking take
that.
all of this
Give it a try.
right now.
Definitely put a little tingles on your scalp. Yeah.
Man, that's why. So how long? So you 10 years you've been doing jiu-jitsu? Me and
Yeah,
him both. Like, if we both weren't fucking
Yeah,
fat,
yeah.
we would love to do
Justin and I
jiu-jitsu.
have been training for
You
a
too?
while. Justin actually
Oh,
had
shit.
a gym up in Mendocino County.
Oh,
That's
no
tight.
way.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he had
By
a
accident.
killer MMA gym.
By
I
accident?
like jujitsu and this great family came into my community, and it was kind of from some lineage
Yeah.
that I related with, and I grew up wrestling around and whatnot. Dave Terrell and those guys
Yeah.
in Santa Rosa, and we just connected. They were in my community. They were giving back. I like that shit.
Yeah, dude. I'm
Yeah,
like,
we both just got addicted to it. Just fell in love with it so much.
So I was a
It's like such a
wrestler,
huge
getting
part of
into
my life.
jiu-jitsu.
All through high
It was
school,
like,
yeah.
oh, shit.
It's different, bro.
Dope.
yeah, I was. My father was like a very good wrestler, and I just never got into sports. And it, like, you know, then he started drinking because I didn't get into sports. No, I'm just. That's what I tell myself.
That's
No.
the beauty of jiu-jitsu, dude. Like, it's not too late. You can
Yeah.
just get in there. And
But
it, like,
that was the thing is
yeah.
I did jiu-jitsu when I was like 19 through 21. It was like I realized how much I loved wrestling when I was like, oh, this is what my dad liked about it. And it was just nice. It was, I could eat whatever I wanted. I was doing it all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I had fun. I felt confident. And then I started doing stand-up, and then it was all downhill from there. No, but I definitely do want to get back into it. I still, bro, I still watch like Flow Grappling shit. Like, I'm
yeah.
like, my
So
wife, like my
much
wife
fun.
leaves, and I'm just like in like a
Throw it
YouTube
on.
hole.
Yeah, dude, and
Well, bro-
you can see how weed, like when you're actually training, it just makes you so much
In the flow
more
state.
in the flow, and
Yeah.
you're not thinking as much, and
You
you're
guys
just
should
kind of
definitely-
getting into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, I
It is-
want to
goes
get back
with,
into
it
it.
There's
goes
one
with
on the
weed
spot.
so perfectly. It's like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the only time I ever really get super blasted is before going into training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the way.
Don't do a gi. Do like
Dude,
Nogi?
yeah.
I mean, like in
Nah,
the
man.
beginning phases, the geese kind of like if you're really trying to learn.
wet blanket.
Uh-oh.
Not trying to get choked out
Oh,
with
we
my own
got
collar.
I did no gi when I was starting, and then I started doing gi after. I like gi, but I also understand why people like no gi.
Yeah,
I think it was that.
it's like
You
surfing
like
without a
gi more?
wetsuit on.
Yeah. Huh? So it just-
Interesting.
I just hate when
like,
people wrist control, bro, and they
Yeah.
don't let go, and you're just like,
It's such a different game.
It's
you
just
would
more
fucking
technical.
love it if you actually
That's right,
played
that's
with
true.
it, dude.
I'm
This
getting
dude, like,
it.
he literally put on a gi like twice in his life.
Yeah, it's 3D
Like
chess.
he would
Yeah.
love
Like
it. Like
4
especially
times.
his game, he would be actually really, it's just you'd love it, man.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
spider guards.
Who
and
your
shit.
favorite? Are you like super flexible?
He's crazy flexible.
I'm not that
No, you like
haven't
no,
been-
but it's
I
like a
haven't
weird
trained-
kind of
I
flexible.
haven't
He can like
trained
put
much
his
in the
he
last
can like
quite
put
a
his
few years, 2
foot
years
behind
at
his head and shit.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting fucking. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get fucking zombied and shit. Yeah, I loved Eddie Bravo. I love 10th
Oh,
Planet
man.
stuff.
So cool.
I fucking watch Gordon Ryan
Yeah.
all of the time. He's fucking. It's.
I mean, Eddie Bravo was a big reason why we actually really, got connected with the Comedy Store in
Oh,
St.
okay.
Tripoli. Justin went down there and traded at the gym, and kind of,
yeah.
And then Sam and Tiger.
our driver, Tiger.
I love Tiger.
Driver,
Yeah, he was
so
one of the
dope.
first guys I met.
He's-
Yeah.
We all kind of like plugged in.
Yeah.
Tiger got us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
got
is
us in the
Tiger? How's his
door.
back?
He's been struggling.
Yeah.
His back was hurting.
Yeah, I know. It was those drives were killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember see him at the store all the time. He was one of my favorites. Definitely got to give that guy a call.
Eddie Bravo, dude. That was another great memories in the green room of the
Fucking
the
Eddie
Comedy
Bravo,
Store.
bro.
Eddie Bravo just going off.
Dude, he's
dude.
one of my favorites.
We were just like, whoa.
Yeah, he would go wild, man. that metamorphosis, when he
Metamorphosis,
beat, who was it? Which Gracie did he beat in Metamorphosis?
Hoist.
Hoist. That
yeah.
shit was.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'll rewatch that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he just really changed the jiu-jitsu game. I think single-handedly.
Yeah.
He
wasn't he
was the
credited
first
for Spider
one.
Guard?
What's
Or like,
that?
wasn't he the ones for? Or yeah, they're not. No, it's
Rubber
not Spider.
Guard.
Sorry,
Rubber
rubber.
Guard.
Yeah.
But he really
Your knee in your
changed the way
face?
people
Yeah.
looked at it. Like with all these leg locks and all these.
John Danaher, I think his name about John Danaher, right?
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites to watch too.
He's incredible.
Dude, he's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
His,
that guy.
dude, his fucking
trip.
his leg lock
Danaher.
shit is insane.
The genius, the jiu-jitsu genius, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Hoist Gracie out there in New York. Like so they're producing the craziest
They are,
athletes.
yeah.
And
The way I think, I would almost make the, as a guy who would never say this on a jiu-jitsu podcast. No, I think they're like the store in the sense of the people that they're putting out. Like they are constantly putting out collegiate athletes, especially when it comes to like the teams and stuff. I watch all those tournaments. I'm nerding out really hard ever since you brought up
you gotta
Brazilian
train.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm
no.
so into it. Like, where are you training? Come on.
Yeah, dude, I fucking
Yeah,
love
like
it.
you're a true like jiu-jitsu fan.
I like watching it, man.
You'll get good
I
quick
can't
because
talk
you've been
shit,
watching
dude.
so much fucking
I'm
jiu-jitsu.
training for shit. I just set some mats up in my garage.
Really?
Finally.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
a storage unit and clean my garage out. So
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
roll.
Yeah, since COVID, that's kind of how it's been.
That's
I've
how
been
it's
just training
been.
with my buddy down in San Diego in his garage.
Yeah.
I went to a class about 2 months ago, and then like did like opening technique, learned technique, and then went and started doing live grappling. And after one round, just fucking puked. Everywhere. I was like, I've done it years, bro.
It is the craziest.
It's a good
workout.
feeling.
I would have to go because I hate going to the gym. You know, like I don't
I
even know
hate
what the
going
fuck
to the
do in
gym.
there. Yeah, I'm just like.
It's like you need the cardio.
But and I would have to go so ham in the gym to get like one solid round.
Yeah.
You know.
You really gotta, yeah. You really gotta, when you're going up against someone, you're like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. There was a girl in the class I would take in Temecula. She actually did a few MMA fights. She's a black belt now. When we were first started doing it, she was, I think, like a blue belt. Then now she's a black belt. I think Alexis DeFruzny. I always fuck her last name up. But she's from Temecula. She was insane. She would destroy everybody. She was the best in the class. And I remember guys would show up and they'd be from other gyms and they'd be like, they're like, I want to fight, or I want to fight. I want to wrestle the best person. You know what I mean? Or they, they'd try to smash the best person there. And our coach would be like, I'll go against Alexis. And they would get destroyed. Like she was just she was a beast. Yeah. And it was like very impressive. And every time we rolled, I would just get choked out. But I loved every second
It
of
shows
it.
you how truly functional that sport is. It shows you how truly functional that sport is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's so ballsy to walk into a gym and be like, I want to go with the best
Best
person.
friend.
Yeah, who does? We were actually talking about. You've had that a few times when you had the gym though. Like,
But
put
it's
me up
usually-
against your
it's-
badass ass
It's usually
guy.
a street person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can hit this bag for 2 minutes straight, I'll set the timer for him without getting tired,
Then
then
we talk.
we'll talk.
Yeah.
Never once. 45 seconds in, I'm all, come on, bro. So that was just
man.
the easy one to get out of, you know.
Yeah, we got a gym outside. Yeah, we're never going to use. They use it all the time. I'm
Look
just
at
going to
it.
stare at it. Yeah. No, I need to
This place
stop.
is crazy,
Seen it a
man.
few times.
That's like,
Yeah.
That's
This
sick to do your podcast just out of a mansion.
I know.
Like, you
It's
unreal.
It's
Yeah.
really
The
unreal.
shithole you had before.
Oh, dude, that is the third time someone has said that on a podcast. They've never seen my apartment, but I mean, they're right. They're 100% right.
Yeah, thank you, High Rise guys.
Thank you, High Rise guys. No, for real though, it is. It's also really. It's a lot easier to call like my comic friends that I, because when I was working at the store, I was just doing phones all the time. So like I have everybody's numbers. I had text them their spot. So it's a lot easier to be like, hey, do you want to do my podcast? When they're like, oh, well, what do you want to do? It's like, well, we smoke weed in a mansion in Beverly Hills and we just shoot the shit for like an hour. And they're like,
Fuck it.
absolutely, yeah, I'll be right over.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I'm
Jump in the
okay.
pool.
Yeah,
Let's go hang
you want to
out.
have barbecue? What do you want to do? Yeah, it's fun. My favorite is anytime I bring a big comic here, or just a comic, they come in here and they're like, all right, how the fuck did you get here? Like, what the fuck did you do to get to this? You know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, I love to see the mental gymnastics they do. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's such a good idea, man.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun, man. And it's, I think weed and comedy go hand in hand. I mean, you've seen how much it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny because, I fought so hard to finally be able to do this. And it's, I tell these guys every day. It's so annoying, but I tell them every day where I'm just like, I got arguments with other comics about how this idea was great and how, like, there needs to be something like this because the weed community is so, you can meet great people and have these dope conversations, and that should also happen with other comics and stuff. And so
there's also such a variety.
It's such a variety of people,
Instead of being pigeonholed to one scene.
Exactly.
Or something like that, what weed does is brings
everybody
brings
together.
the dope ones together.
It does.
Way,
So I was like trying to talk I was telling like comics with platforms this, like, trying to pitch the show, and they were just like, you want to be a famous stoner? You know what I mean? They're like, name me all the famous stoners. And I was like, no, that's not the question. It's name me all the famous people who smoke weed. That's everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just so funny to see a lot of people just not even realizing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the stigma. We were talking about that with the High Res boys. It's
Yeah.
like stigma is so crazy. Like if you actually knew
Yeah.
the level of highly productive, successful people. They're all smoking weed. A lot of them. You know?
Of course.
So.
Yeah, all the best comics.
Yeah.
I think Richard Pryor wasn't fucking smoking weed. He was smoking a lot of other things, but he was also
Yeah.
Stigma seems like it's like culture or something. Like,
yeah.
take the culture out of it, you know. It's like the stigma is dope. There's really rad people doing really cool shit and being successful and
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
motivated.
stigma?
And
It's
Yeah.
like,
like,
should
that's
be
the
proud.
stigma. That's
Exactly.
our culture.
Absolutely.
Don't be just because you put like some crazy person with a weed necklace on the news.
Hey, what
that's
are
like,
you saying? Crazy person with a weed necklace. Dude. Yeah, am I the poster boy for that?
No, but you're 100% right. You're 100% right because, like, you know, I have I think after everything, for me at least, realizing with everything that's going on with me and comedy and stuff, it's like the same people that were the adults in my life that were telling me, like, you know, don't put your whole basket in weed, you got to stop, weed's a bad look, blah, blah. Those are the same people who, like, every year would be like, how's that comedy career going? You know what I mean? And then now it's like, they don't ask me that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no one's like, how's the comedy going? It's like, you guys fucking know how it's going.
Yeah.
It's going great.
Yeah.
How's that not being invested in weed going?
Yeah.
Just fucking still working at Southwest. You know what I mean?
It's a crazy industry,
good
though,
job.
man. We go through all the trials and tribulations.
Ah.
It's like right when you think you got a handle on it, kind of.
Everything, yeah, you guys have,
You get thrown into something else. And
especially
it's
with the way
all
everything
over the
is,
place.
especially with the way everything with the, the laws and everything, I feel like you guys are constantly still getting fucked. One, with taxes. Also, I can only imagine, I'm sure the taxes you guys have to deal with actually, like, processing and, like, all that jazz.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that kind of stuff is secondary to just the curveballs that are thrown at you all the time.
Like, what are some of the curveballs?
I mean, just name it. Raids or market crashes or vape gates or
Yeah,
it's
vape
it's
gates.
all. It's just
Did
up
you
and
guys-
down,
or a
like,
shitty sales
Yeah.
VP or
Yeah.
a marketing mistake or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like cost.
Having to correct it.
As
Yeah.
being a buyer or fucking
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
distro, you're trying to switch systems and fucking next thing you know, you're not getting your
All your
shit.
shit's gone.
We're just, oh fuck. I know.
I've heard so many horror stories of people like switching distros and then like all the inventory be like, I don't know where it went.
We do.
You're like,
That's
what are
why
you talking about?
We're
Yeah,
so
especially
lucky to be vertical how
Yeah.
we are, because to try and rely
own
on all these outside influences,
Yeah,
that's
it's impossible.
So stressful.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
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 Terrifying. We
It's
can
also-
fuck it up on our own.
It's the best way to control
We do plenty of that.
Yeah. I guess I never really thought about it that way too. Is like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that think of you guys as like, oh, they're corporate or whatever, and then you're like, no, man, we're just in legal now, and we're still figuring out this whole other side of it.
and a lot of the right moves,
Yeah, it's also
Like you
a lot
said,
of the right
sitting
Not
at
all
the
the
right
right
table.
moves, but it's like definitely the right direction.
Right direction, yeah.
Like it's amazing what this company has done,
Yeah.
man. And just like to have the solid like ship that we have with all these products and fully vertical, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, it's definitely fucking something to see, and it feels cool to I don't know. It makes me believe that there's still companies that can do it right. You know what I mean? There's still a chance that no one's gonna get super fucked, and that it's not gonna be like Marlboro selling me joints in like 10 years.
Oh, we're
I'm
not
just
going anywhere, dude.
Yeah. So it feels good to see, and it feels comforting.
Yeah.
I know whenever I talk to like my family, and they're like, it's so funny. And my family's like, especially my older people in my family, they're just like, what's good? I'm looking for like this, and they're trying to decipher what it is they're asking me. I'm like, oh, you want CBD ointment, you want a cream, you want this, and then like taking them through the steps, and they're like, oh, okay. The pamphlets help. I remember I took one of your pamphlets from the show, and I gave it to my grandmother, and she was like, oh, okay.
And education's a big part of what we are.
Yeah.
And like what we try and do,
Yeah.
It's just kind of just educate the public on how this whole thing works in one way or another,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like collateral in shops is super important, bud tender trainings and just like really having people, really understand where we're coming from and how to portray the product and you know. So
People are more
education's a big
educated
part.
now, though.
It's-
too.
yeah.
Like,
it's
it's easier.
unreal.
Oh,
now.
it's in
Like,
every
they know what
exponentially,
ratios are. you
Yeah.
know. People are talking about terpenes and,
Yeah.
And I remember
like-
sending people to CBD.org like back in the day, like right in the beginning,
Yeah.
and everything going. Now everyone knows what the ratios they want.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier with terpenes, like it's insane how much that's changed the market, even the buying market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are like, oh, it's only 20%, but smell
Like,
this shit.
finally.
Yeah, exactly. But it
Finally,
smells great. and it-
guys.
it
Like, come
affects-
on. Like, this is how weed works.
Yeah, man,
you know?
without a doubt.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and it's funny because at the store we'll hang out and I'll have those conversations like it's not about percentage and they're like no and I'm like
Yeah.
yeah, and
it's
it
like,
or they'll be like this is a
We've
really
been
high
going through
percent.
that. We've
Yeah.
been going through that through the beginning.
Since the beginning, especially
Yeah,
down here, I'm
yeah.
sure that's selling LA market
Yeah.
that sells potency sells down here.
Yeah, it's
I mean, that was, being a Northern California brand, coming into Southern California was tough, man. We were just another brand. Like,
What do you think-
Up north, people know who we are, but down here it was tough to just kind of get in here and,
So many shops too.
and just really like kind of, bring who we are and get the right teams in place. And it was a challenge. We're finally like, I feel like SoCal is starting to feel it. you
yeah.
know?
What do you
And
think the big differences between North Cal and SoCal is in terms of the weed market?
Well, sales are higher.
Well, I'd say
for us.
Yeah.
It's that what
Yeah.
we're talking about, like going by
Yeah.
percentage or whatever.
Yeah,
We were talking
exactly.
about terpenes a long time ago, and entourage, and just kind of like trying to get that out. And when people only want that can talk about things that kind of set you back. You're like, no, let's talk about terpenes. Let's be ahead of the
Yeah.
curve. And it's like, no, people want fucking all the buyers are going. People want percentage.
and
Give
for
me
like as
percentage.
cheap as they can get it down here too.
As
that-
cheap as they could possibly get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we didn't know what.
Yeah,
But that's what it did so well.
Yeah, we had this such amazing full spectrum oil, and we were always just like, guys, like, get the
Smoke
full
it.
spectrum
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah, yeah.
instead of this distillate, where we're just kind of late to that party, but yeah, education.
Yeah.
But
I
it's,
think
all,
you-
it's like eventually people are figuring it out, and now we have a lot, 5 of the 6 top selling SKUs
Yep.
in vapes, with full spectrum. So
Yeah.
it's people are coming around.
Yeah. Vape. I was. You brought up VapeGate. That blew my mind how crazy that was and how much it affected everything. Especially when I was talking to him about it.
Dude, I saw sales drop like in 30% like right away, like
Yeah.
immediately,
Yeah.
just across the board, not even
Oh,
just
yeah.
in vapes.
That
Like it
a
was just like
crazy
sales
one. That
dropped.
was a crazy one for
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it was like it
But
feels like it took
ultimately,
forever to recover.
ultimately a blessing, because people need to go to a licensed dispensary if they want to feel safe. Like people are getting sick from, there's who knows what.
Yeah.
And so once again, it's like these things, they always turn into blessings.
Yeah, I had family members call me and be like, "Careful what you're vaping on." I was like, why are you talking to me of all people?
Called me. She's like,
I was like,
I've
"What do
been
you?"
giving those to people.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, you're good. it's me.
I'm not gonna give you poison.
Like it's actually the opposite.
Yeah, I'm the one that you should be buying.
Well, we had a lab for 7 years, so we were like testing everybody's
away.
shit, and we're like just
We were
kind of
testing shit before.
not wanting to
anybody-
like
before they
scream
were
it from the
testing.
highest mountain,
Yeah.
but like trying to educate some of the buyers and shit, and be like, hey, man,
Yeah.
you guys aren't third party testing it yourselves. You know what I mean?
You're just
People-
you're just taking their word for it and trusting.
The
And that was
regulations were
also
different, yeah.
I saw a bunch of articles too about a lot of companies that were testing companies getting busted because they also owned a part of whatever brand is that they were also testing, and then it was like, or they're just shading testing companies, taking money and being like, yeah, we can fudge the
the
numbers.
testing has been a crazy challenge too. There's a lot of shady shit going on out
Yeah.
there.
Well, it's like the one, like everything has to get regulated through testing, but testing, like the labs aren't regulated themselves really. Like there's no SOP really. I mean, yes, there is, but there's no like,
Yeah.
this is how you test cannabis fully, and they're not all doing the same
There's
thing.
some testing, like Sonoma Lab Works, amazing. SC Labs, amazing. Like
Yeah.
people will start getting these, reputations is that, and it'll work itself out. But yeah, testing's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you see? I know Texas is not legal. Do you think that? Do you feel like it's gonna finally become federally legal?
Joe Rogan's
soon?
there. Fucking dude, it'll be legal.
I for real.
It's gonna be illegal in like 3 weeks.
I for real feel that way. I for
Seriously,
real
Joe,
feel that
watch.
way.
Texas is going legal ASAP.
Yeah, I think if Texas became legal, that's what, like, I was talking to my wife about this. I was like, you know, if Texas was like, we're going to be legal, like, that would be the one thing where it was like, I would move to do a podcast there and also try to get my foot in the door, like, weed-wise, be at the ground floor, you know, because I feel like, you know, I know enough.
God damn it, you
places.
bailing too, motherfucker?
No, I'm not. But, like,
Come on.
if a company wants to help me build a studio,
Yeah, come on. Stop all this Texas talk.
No, I would build a studio and do weed stuff out there too. But I mean, I see so many people making the trip of like, yo, we
No,
could do
there's
two
a-
Here's the thing,
spots
it's
now.
so established. There would be so many people. I think Texas would kind of be like.
It's gonna be
5 big
trippy to
ones,
see
like
what
a few
happens to
big ones.
Austin.
It's gonna be insane.
really trippy.
Yeah.
It's a social experiment.
It
for
really
sure.
is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be so many amazing, creative, like people that are out there with like resources. Like this is gonna be a really interesting little
Yeah.
social experiment.
If they were like, we're gonna open up, or we're gonna do weed stuff, I would be like, all right, I would open up a weed lounge and just do comedy shows.
But no, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's like there's gonna be some
Maybe in
high level
Austin, but-
motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you just go out there and you know like it's the spot. Where,
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if they let me do acid out there, man. no.
Do you think Texas is gonna let a bunch of little like craft weed brands?
Yeah, that's the
open
thing.
up and shit out
Yeah.
there? I would
Think so?
could
I
see it
mean,
like
I
that.
don't know. It'd be interesting.
I don't know.
for
It'd
sure.
be interesting to
Yeah.
see. Maybe in Austin.
In
I mean,
Austin, like
but,
alone.
that's
yeah.
what I was saying. This
Dude,
is
the big
such a
dogs will
weird
just
one.
Fields.
I think-
fields already.
I would approach a few companies and be like, I'm gonna start a podcast studio, and then like I think starting it that way, and then having comics come, especially with all the comics I know, or just having comics come. I think that would be, I think that could blow a lot of other weed companies out of the water, especially if they, you know what I mean? Because you see a lot of weed companies like show up, and not a lot of people are doing podcast stuff, you know. And it was just kind of like, I mean, you guys were very smart by going to the store and starting to fuck with those comics. And I think that's what I think is going to be the next step is companies starting to fuck with comedians a lot
for
more.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, podcasts are alone.
No,
it's just,
endless supply of
It's just
content.
like the kind of one of the last real free
Yep.
forms, you know, without like a lot of censorship, and
Yeah.
it's reaching what, how many people?
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
It's
what
also
this thing has done.
it's letting comics not have a boss. It's basically giving us a network.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what it is like, you know, I have a lot of weed ideas, and me and him shoot the shit all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think,
you get a mansion out there.
yeah, I mean, hey, Aaron, can we get a mansion in Texas? No. Where's Derek?
Hey, I got an idea for all of us.
Hey guys, I gotta listen. All right, I know Texas is crazy and they don't like me usually. I've been to Texas a few times.
Austin's amazing.
Austin's-
Austin's always been one of my favorite cities in the
I
U.S.
loved Austin. I went there for like 3 days, and I was just like, "This is the." I went to one coffee shop. It was a smoke shop coffee shop, or what did I say? Smoke shop? No, it was a skateboard coffee shop. It was a skateboard shop that was fucking dope, and it had like the sweetest fucking like espresso machine, and you could just chill,
Yeah.
fucking eat a
Yeah,
donut,
Austin
and then
is
buy a
always
board,
good,
and just
yeah.
fucking, dude, it was great. The weather was beautiful. The food was great.
Yeah.
If they just let me smoke weed and not get in trouble,
Yeah.
I would give you all of my kids.
South by Southwest. Is
South by
crazy
Southwest
out
is
there.
great all the time. Yeah, I Rogan, when we went to Texas, I think we did shows in Austin. We were doing the theaters, and I brought weed, and it was flying to Texas with weed. It was like kind of like. I was like nervous, but then like, you know, I got to sit first class for the first time, and I was just like, "Oh, no one gives a shit.
It's all good.
No one's gonna check me
Hey,
at all."
I'm with this guy.
Yeah. I was like, I could have brought more weed. But yeah, it was great. I was just sitting there, and I was like, man, I was like looking at other people getting stopped, and I was like, I think this guy's got drugs on him. Yeah, you just check this guy.
Yeah, they don't fuck around in Texas.
No, they do not fuck around in Texas. It was
That border's crazy.
Yeah, that border's wild
We've
too.
known a lot of people who've gotten fucked up at that
Just
border throughout all the years of,
Yeah.
you know, like
Just fucking
that
waiting.
one's a crazy one.
Yeah, Texas is wild. I don't know.
Farmer and the Felon, dude. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a big
Farmers
Texas
and
has
the Felon,
definitely
yeah.
been like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
on top of the list of people.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I remember I was in North Carolina and South Carolina, and I brought a vape pen because I thought weed would be less conspicuous. But I guess bringing the vape pen is actually worse because they treat it like a felony out there, and they weigh the whole thing. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I was just walking around, just hitting my vape pen like it was nothing. And then, they told me at the end of the trip.
We have 28 grams of concentrate on you. That's
Yeah,
just so
no.
good.
Yeah, I had
Oh, yeah,
like,
don't forget about that
Just
part.
the cart.
yeah, I had 4 carts, and then I had like 2 batteries on me, and
You
I was
were
walking
trafficking.
around.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I did.
No.
I was just walking around like I was like, I'm gonna go smoke my vape outside, and like I was just
You're just used to it.
yeah. Oh, dude, it was bad.
That's probably why you didn't get got
It's
though.
really-
It
You were
probably
just doing
is.
it so like
We're gonna look.
Nonchalant.
it's just normal.
We're gonna
Yeah.
look back on the you know, that's the beauty of like this whole thing. We're so on the right side of history.
Yeah.
We'll look back on this shit and
Yeah.
be like, "Can you believe that?"
They were arguing about
Couldn't smoke weed in the streets. Yeah,
I couldn't smoke weed in the
Prison
street.
for-
Yeah, there's
Vape
people
pen.
in
Yeah.
prison.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
It's for you
Fucked up.
guys. No.
That's
Oh,
that Rolls Choice is gas. By the
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry. Just fucking
Yeah,
thinking about
yeah.
it.
We've
Yep.
been bringing the heat with Farmer and the Felon lately.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Very
Yeah.
stoked.
Yeah.
how many strains do you guys have with Farmers in the Felon? Farmers. in the Felon.
We're all over the place. We mix it up. You know, that one was from our friends farm up in Mendocino County, Mendocino Grasslands.
Right. You're just going around sourcing for the most part and just
Yeah.
finding shit that really is.
We buy stuff
Best
from
of the
our
best.
friends.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
whatnot,
it's
and
our
then-
friends. You
Yeah,
know,
the
they
network.
grow
Yeah.
fucking killer weed.
Good shit,
So,
yeah.
And I think that's kind of how it should be, man. You know,
Yeah.
like I remember whenever I explain it to like people and they're like talking about like traditional and like you know, I call it traditional. I mean, you know, people call it the black market whenever I'm talking to them. I'm like, no, it's traditional, and they're like, no, and I'm like, listen,
All this terminology goes
Yeah,
all
it's
over the
like,
place, dude.
yeah. So I'm just like, all right, listen. There's a guy that sells you weed for 10 years around the corner, and you love him to death, and he's just always been, you know, it's like, do you want that guy to be able to make money? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, then fucking just. It's like, yeah, the rules need to be changed. And he was like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, care about this shit. Look,
Yeah.
like, read into it, you know, vote, and also, you know, keep buying weed from your friends. Yeah, man. There's people that have been. How many people do you think are like still like OGs that are like grown strains that a lot of us are never gonna see on the like legal market?
No, I don't know about that. I mean, things always make
There's
it.
some squirrels out
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, you think there's some
Genetic
like
libraries get out.
Yeah, I mean,
Just in the
like
woods.
genetics get out there. Like, you know, it's like
There's
it's
always
so
a
hard.
beef or like
We
an
were talking about
ex-girlfriend.
that. Yeah.
And the end of the seeds end up in the ex-girlfriend's fridge.
Is that real?
Yeah, bro. shut
Oh
down.
my
Oh,
god!
yeah, we were talking about that. It's like, remember that fucking sour diesel? Like that first run of those things. Like, where have those things been? Like, I haven't seen like those, you know, like grown really properly.
Yeah, like the
in a
New York
while.
sour diesel almost,
Yeah.
like super gassy.
Yeah.
That's really fascinating too when you look
Yeah.
into like the phenotypes and just the genealogy of just different strains. Where you're like, yeah, that could be a thing where it's like there's a certain seed or a certain, you know, group of a certain crop that like you're never gonna see again, you know, because it's, you know, just it's something about how that was grown that just fucking fucked everybody up when they smoked it.
Well, for a long time, I would argue it was the Red Congo until they started really figuring out going out to the Congo and sourcing it. Just because it's a land race, so it's supposed to be like one of the older cannabis genetics out there. But like, I guess the native people were like eating the leaves and stuff as a stimulant, like chewing on them because it's so psychoactive. Like when you smoke it, Red Congo like peels my eyelids open and like my
Really?
feet start going, dude.
And you could smoke some fucking
I trip
weed.
the fuck out of Red Congo, dude.
Smoke
Yeah, man, it's like that weird high. Like I get uncomfortable immediately. Yeah, man, it's
I
fucked
think,
up.
yeah, keep that one away from me.
Yeah, dude. It's like and it has this like this strong like ammonia smell. It's nuts. It's like
Yeah.
unreal.
It's crazy
Yeah.
to think there's some just Indiana Jones guy who's gonna find some seed somewhere.
Someone hiding in a fucking temple, dude.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
just like, oh my god.
I could definitely see that happening.
I feel like the breeder guys kind of fight over it like too much, you know, like they need to come together and
Without a doubt.
fucking share
Yeah.
information.
What did you say about artists? like breeders are in a sense like artists, and you know how artists are. We have a lot of egos, so.
I'm not involved in that world so much, but I just know a lot of them. I know they're good people, and I see them fighting amongst each other.
Like you guys are
over,
fighting.
it's like what the fuck, dude? Like, do your part.
My seeds are better. Yeah, it's just so funny. It's like, what do you guys? You know?
It's like, dog, you all grow gelato.
Oh, fucking called him out.
JP's been hanging out with me too much. All right, Leslie, you want to do a closing dab? Do you closing bong rip?
Hook you up.
All right, perfect. All right, I'll go ahead and do this intro.
This is
Yeah. What's good? Thank you guys. All right. Hey, my name's Frank Castillo. This is Buddies. I'm high for 2 days in a row, and this is the good life. This is my co-host, JP.
What's up, guys?
I got Justin and Bobby here. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
What's up?
Justin Capri with Cannacraft.
Yep, Bobby with Cannacraft. Hanging.
Nice. Thank you guys so much for coming. This was a lot of fun. Are you guys super baked?
So baked.
Yeah,
It's just so upside down right now.
it was great too because it was so funny. It was so funny at the beginning too. I was like, "Yeah, we can do some dabs, smoke, and then we get into the podcast." You're like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
About 20 minutes in, I'm gonna be. If I get really stoned, 20 minutes in, it'll be. And then like I looked and I was like, "Oh, it is 20 minutes." In. I could just see it. And I was like, "Oh man, I really fucked them all up." Oh, okay. Well, this is
in the best way, man. I had a fucking great time.
Great time.
Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Is there anything you guys want to plug before we head out?
We don't really want to plug too much. Cannacraft is Absolute Extracts, Care by Design, our new flower brand, Farmer and The Felon, Satori Chocolates. We do the Hifi. So we're a lot of things under one roof. And
Two guys that just love to choke people out. You know what I mean?
In a loving way.
Absolutely.
with respect.
I'll whisper in your ear. Dude, thank you guys so much. All the stuff you guys have done for the Comedy Store. I'm really just, you guys have known me since I was like a door guy. Since I was, you know what I mean? And so it feels great.
We always had a dope bond with you, man.
So it feels, I'm just so grateful you guys came to the podcast and got to hang out with everybody, shoot with High Rise and stuff. So thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
man.
Appreciate you guys.